in this episode, I'm going to show you how to use the sand tray and the 7 steps of Purview coaching to design an organization, to transform it, to do organizational turnaround. So let's get started here. So the first step we're going to do is give a team of executives called the C-suite and say, okay, here's a sand tray. There's one in front of each of you. What I want you to each do, let's say there's 7 people around, and I want you each to um, work with the sand and figure out where you're going to put the old organization, let's say there, and the new one you're going to design. Let's keep it really simple. And what are some of the things that characterize this organization as it's been? And then we'll give it a label in a minute. It's been kind of a quacky duck. All right. All right. So there you go. Um, it seems to be all over the place like a spider. It just seems to go this way and that way and not really pick a direction. So that's been going on. Um, where the pieces sometimes in what we put together don't fit and they never seem to come out. And we seem to be missing a key component here. It doesn't like bolt together. Okay, well, what characterize an organization as you would like it to be? Let's put that over in this part of your tray. Well, I'd like it to be, um, to straighten out the tangles, and just, you know, maybe people need to trust each other. And I'm going to make this kind of a little heart, and it needs to stand up and be solid on solid ground. So you have a heart that's on solid ground. Okay, so you want that. Make it look a little more like a heart here. All right, you want that. We need to go global. We're too localized. So we need to be global in our orientation. Um, then we're not taking enough risks right now. This part is too conservative. So I wanted some bets on the future. So I'm working with one tray. They're each doing their own thing and they're using different objects. So give them a chance to each characterize the organization as it's happened, what they'd like to see as a new direction. Uh, so let's say it's an organization that's found a way to disentangle the stuff that's not working and get some design teams and find the direction towards higher revenues. Okay. So let's say that that's it. And those higher revenues, um, maybe they characterize that with a couple of coins. All right. Very good. So now externalize. What do you see the problem in making this transition? So the people in the organization are not the Daffy Ducks, right? But what do you see the problem in making this transition? Um, and we call it spider building webs that stick us together in ways that people are in conflict. So they call it the spider. Okay, so very good. So now we're going to talk about the spider aspect of your organization, the webs it builds, the conflicts that seem to be recurring. And we're going to sympathize with that spider. So what does that get you? Well, people get energized by the conflicts, and sometimes a group will branch out and do something, other people will resent it and pull them back, but they'll make a little progress, but they're not really a team. It's not a team organization. Okay, let's talk about that a little bit. And now, what are the consequences? Because we're going to revise. It has a payoff. Yeah, sometimes you get a direction, but what what are the consequences? What's the fallout from that? Oh, we're not pulling together as a team, so we're going in all different directions. Some bets are paying off. We don't seem to have a heart. We don't seem to have a compass. We're not making the money we should be making. We're not establishing new locations. Okay. So now what we're going to do is strategize little while moments when the spider didn't take control. Can you give me some examples, some events in the history of your organization where that was true? Okay, there was a time when we did get a couple pieces to fit together, and that created a new market, and we did make a little cash, but it was short-lived. How about another example? Well, another example, we fixed a machine in production that was causing a lot of trouble for the people operating it and people trying to maintain it. And we got that thing bolted back together. Okay, what about another one? Well, we took a risk on a new vice president of marketing. And when she was here, we actually made some progress. But she got bought out by another firm and she left. I don't think she saw any future for herself here. Okay, so we've got a number of those stories now. So we want to rearrange the sand tray now, take out the spider, take out the Daffy Duck, take out things that weren't part of. You have your new stories. You have this, you took a risk on a new vice president. You got in a new market. You made a little cash. You found a little direction. But you haven't got the heart of the organization yet, quite yet pinned down as a team. So we say you're not quite there yet. So lay it out and give me the history of the firm with those stories and no Daffy Ducks, no spidery. uh, Don't stay out of that rabbit hole. So I have them retell the little while moments of their history and just that and practice doing that as their new story. And the elements of the little while moments will create the new story. Okay, so that's what we want to have happen is that new story to emerge. And they say, well, that's going to be the dragon. We're going to produce the dragon. Okay. Whoa, okay. And somebody said, well, it doesn't look like a dragon too much. Yeah, but I'm seeing it. It's close enough. I understand what it is. Very good. So in identifying the new story, the dragon, and what the dragon is and how we get it to stand on its legs and when do we get to have the teamwork, when do we have the mobility of positions so we get a new VP of marketing or promote the one we have, that they see a future, they see a direction, pieces are getting together, fixing things that need to be fixed, or setting up markets that need to happen. Um, that's the new story. So we've gone from the Daffy Duck spidery story to a new direction in designing the future of the organization. So once we have that, um, part of the process is to have a support team. So let's say this group of executives and the C-suite will be the support team for this new venture, this redesign. And if they find they're talking about Daffy Duck and the spider, and that's starting to take over, and they go down that rabbit hole, and it's all like, they give each other permission to say, let's not go down the Spidey hole. Let's let's focus on a little while moments. We've done things successfully in the past. We're going to do them. That's our future. We're going to design, and that's what you're going to do. All right. The other thing you can do as a coach is have a ritual. Have them just get around the table, the board table, whatever it is, conference table. Have them do take some deep breaths. In, hold for 4, out, hold for 4, in, out. So 4, hold the breath, 4 in, 4 out, 4 in, hold the breath for 4, 4 out. So it's 4, 4, 4, 4. And so do some rounds of breathing. So they center, do the view step. I try to do it in each of the 7 steps, but it depends on the situation, how often I'll do it. But what's your vibes now in your body? I feel good. I feel energized. Feel I'm less tense. I don't have that pit in my stomach. Okay, what's your internal thoughts and emotions? I'm grateful that we got this far. I really am. Um, I see the love here amongst the group. Okay, thinking that this is possible. So they're all sharing these things. And then, okay, what's the energy level? I'm at 10. I'm a 9. I'm a 9.5. What do you got to do for get from 9 to 10? I just want some commitment around the table. Okay, let's show them commitment. Yay, yay. And all right, are you at a 10 yet? Do you have the vision for the new story? All right. Then collapse the wave for this new story. Let's tell the new story one more time. All right, we've got a direction, a new vice president of marketing. We're going to make sure that he or she has mobility, promotion, lots of good adventures, listened to around the table, not treated as an appendage. We're going to open up a market somewhere in the world. We got an idea of where to locate that in North Carolina. And then we want to do something overseas in the following year. Okay, so we got a compass direction. And we see that by trimming out a lot of the different areas and focusing on some primary projects, this is going to be good for building revenue. It's going to fixing things in the warehouse and the factory. That's going to lower some costs. Not dividing against each other. That's going to lower some costs. Okay, so, and good communication. So we got this. Okay, now we're going to clap 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And I want you each to do it when I say go. And I want it loud. So they say, okay. One. Now, why am I doing that? Because I want the neurological connections in the mind to link up on this new story. They have a support group. They've got permission to interrupt each other if they're falling down the Spidey hole. So 1, 2, 3. Now you might think, "Oh, David, why are you doing this ritual?" Because rituals are important. Remember, you got married, you had a ritual. Remember, you have a funeral, you have a ritual. Rituals mark one phase into another phase of one's life. So it's important to have a ritual. Maybe they'll do that. I remember I had a ritual of ringing the bell every time we had a new sale. People would run in my office. I got a new sale. Yeah, we're going to work with MGM. We're going to work with Walt Disney. We're going to do that in our agency. I said, fine, come and ring that bell anytime that happens. And they did. So Anyway, that's about sand trays and how to use it in team development, organization design, and organizational transformation. I hope you found this enlightening and enjoyable and a kind of thing that you could do.